Hey guys, it is Friday here in West Virginia, so it's time for us to do our Free It Friday video. And today we're focusing on the Greenlight second gen Chevy Nova. And I've really grown to like this casting. The first one I got was actually this guy back here. This came in a Mac Tools Barn Finds 3-pack. It was a window box with this Dodge truck, and this Thunderbird. But anyways, this is supposed to be like an SS396 somebody found in a barn somewhere, and they did a really nice job on this with the weathering and the dust and dirt. Under the hood is also kind of grimy and dusty, so they did a fabulous job with the detail on this car. Now, the only thing that I have against these like pre-made mass production barn find cars is that if you look at the fender, like, it should all be red, not just the side of it. They left the top part of it still blue, unless somebody did some body work there and went over it with red primer. But I don't think that's what they were going for. I think they were going for like a replacement fender. And one more detail that they lack on, like this one, I remember on the box at SS396, I believe. But inside the engine compartment, you can see the motor has narrow valve covers and Siamese center ports. That's a small block Chevy. So anyways, they did good with the small block. I think that's what that tag says on the fender there, 396. I can't really see it too good, but it's a little too grimy, I guess. But anyways, that's the other downside. They do it on all of them. They do not have a big block to put in this car. The other one that I got was the Axel Foley Beverly Hills Cop one. And this is a really cool one. This is just based on a basic Nova, probably a 307 car. And under the hood, very basic. And once again, you can see it has Siamese center ports with narrow valve cover. But it should. This is a small block car. And it has just the right amount of dirt and grime. Not really rusty and stuff, because it hasn't been left to set. He actually used the car on a daily basis. Even the newer Beverly Hills Cop movie, they brought this car back, and he's still driving it, like, what, 40 years after the first one was made? Something like that. But the cars we're unboxing today are two high-performance Novas, and the first one is from their Vintage Ad series. This is from Series 3 back in 2020. It is a 68 Chevy Nova SS, and there is the ad, Chevy Too Much? Nova SS. And for you guys that are not really into Chevy, Chevy 2 was what the Nova was first called whenever it first was launched in 62. And anyways, it carried that name for a while. Chevy 2, Nova, and then I forget what year in second gen they finally dropped the Chevy 2 and just went with Nova. But anyways, this is a very basic SS model. It's really cool. It reminds me of a COPO, which stands for Central Office Production Order. Those are the cars that were based on a 6-cylinder model, but they came with a big block, 4-speed, and 12-bolt rear end. Basically, you could order it any way you wanted to. It didn't have to be a 4-speed, but most of the COPOs that were ordered by big Chevy dealerships like Yenko and Dana, they were all, I think, 4-speed cars, most of them. There may have been a few automatics, and they all had 427s in them. But anyways, this is a really good example of this car. Now, in this Series 3, you had the Nova, a Dodge Challenger RT Hemi convertible, which is another very nice one. There's a few in this set that I would like to have. This Challenger is in Plum Crazy and has the Magnum 500s. This is a really nice combination with a white interior. Then they had the 73 MC Matador, the 75 Dodge Coronet, which is another cool one. That is one of the bigger B bodies, and it is a civilian model, not a cop car, and it just looks really good in like a maroon. Actually, no, that's not this one. This is the police car. I'm sorry. The one I'm thinking about is from the Hobby Shop series, but this one is a black police car. My bad. Then the 82 Ford Mustang GT and an 85 Chevy Silverado. And on the back, you can see where to find Greenlight online. And also, here's where they are on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and IG. So let's go ahead and get this guy out and take a look at. So yeah, this color is not like probably everyone's first choice, but honestly, it goes really good on this car. And with the basic trim, which is not much trim at all, it looks really good. It has the green stillies to match the paint, dog dish caps, thin red line tires, and there's no wheel trim chrome, no rocker chrome, no drip rail moldings, nothing like that. It's just a all business Nova that somebody bought to probably drag race or street race or something. Very nice looking. The detail they did on the grill with the SS emblem, the headlights is very nicely done, and they have separate bumpers. It's this front bumper may be made to the grill, I don't know, but they're separate pieces, and unlike some of the other manufacturers. And it has the chrome rear bumper, and then the base rear end with those rectangle red tail lights and square reverse lights, and then your SS badge on the back panel between them. So very, very cool car. As I said, it reminds me of a Copo, just that very basic look and such. Now, this on the package, it didn't state if it was a 350 or 396. I'm just going to take for granted that it was a 350 SS because it has a small block in it. The narrow valve covers, once again, Siamese center ports. Now, when it comes to the other one, I'll show you in a minute, but look how well they detailed the underneath of the car, too. The only thing that would make it even better is if it was done in black. If they would have coated it in like a satin black, it would have been really, really cool. But even the base raw finish of the diecast is fine. So this is a really cool car. I think I'm going to start trying to get all of the stock variants of the car, the ones that look like the SS's or the Yenkos or the Copos, the ones that are not too flashy, or the ones that are not sponsored up with their stupid oil companies and things like that, and they're running on empty series. I just want to get the stock ones and have them in my collection. Now, drag cars like the Grumpy Jenkins one I have, that's cool because that's modeled after a real super stock car that Grumpy had back in the late 60s. So now we're going to our hitch and tow set. This hitch and tow set is from Counting Cars History Channel, and it's a Hollywood hitch and tow Series 12. And these you can still find reasonable for like 18 bucks or less. And I really like the whole setup. The Yenko truck is awesome and such. In the trailer, it even has stripes on the fenders to correspond with the truck and the car. Now, this I've had for a while, and I know I've told you guys about it, that I had an issue, and when I contacted the hobby shop, I didn't know how he was going to react to it. I felt I was getting the runaround at first, but he actually went and found another set in his stock room, and he took the truck out and sent me the truck. It took a little longer than I expected, but he did follow through with it, so hats off to him. That is Troy's Toys in Kansas. I order a lot of Greenlight stuff from him. He sometimes has some older stuff that's hard to find even on eBay, and his prices are reasonable. I would say they kind of correspond with like sold listings on eBay. But and the new stuff is this your regular retail, which is like $6.99 and $7.99. But the problem with the original truck that I got, it had no front bumper. As you can see, here's the first one, and it just never came with a front bumper. It wasn't loose in the package. It was something Greenlight failed to put on at the factory. So we're gonna go ahead and take this set out and take a look at it. Oh yeah, I think it does tell you what else is in here. The Gone in 60 Seconds, 67 Ford Mustang, and the Graveyard Cars 70 Plymouth Cuda 340. That's one I wouldn't mind having. And Graveyard Cars I don't know, maybe it's Counting Cars has a Charger, a 68 Charger in red that I wouldn't mind having. So let's take a look at the set. And I should point this out first. As you can see, it does say your 69 Chevy Nova Yenko SC 427. In the old days, not nowadays, but I know we saw 427s based on the LS engine, but the old 427s were big blocks. They're kind of like a LS series with the large heads with the split ports. All 4 ports are single on their own. Nothing is Siamese in the middle. So that's how you determine a big block from a small block. But it's real easy to tell just the size of a big block compared to a small block. Is mammoth. It's like almost like a Hemi compared to a wedge engine. Like you have those huge valve covers, but you know it's a Hemi because the spark plug's going into the top of the head. Big block Chevy doesn't have that. They have the standard spark plugs that go into the side of the head, but the valve covers are very wide, just like a Hemi, and the ports are all separate, just like a Hemi. So anyways, as you can see, this is the SC427 Yenko. Really nice. Has a little pinstripe flaw there, but it's okay. But as you can see in the engine compartment, it's still a small block. Narrow valve covers and Siamese center ports. But as I say a lot of times, even like the small engines, Greenlight puts in their second gen Chargers and such, the Dodge B bodies that they have. Yeah, I overlook it because I usually don't have the hoods open on most of them anyways. So as you can see, the Yenko, there's no SS badge in the grill. There's no, well, maybe they did put it back there, did they? No, it's just a Yenko emblem and something else. So, and it has the base Nova there, because these are based on the Copos. As I mentioned before, it would just be a central office production order where they order a 6-cylinder Nova, but it has beefed up suspension and drivetrain. It's basically the suspension to handle the big block, and usually 4-speed, but there are probably a few that had turbo 400s in them. That's the automatic trans that would have been in these if it wasn't a 4-speed. So as you can see, the red steel rims with the dog dish caps, and this has white letter tires, and the tires are a little beefier on this than what they are on the SS. Not much, but maybe it's just the white letters that make them look a little bigger. But it's a fantastic looking car. I don't know how I flipped that Nova over. But yeah, they did a very nice job on this. There's a couple other versions of the Nova Yenko in the GL Muscle series. There's another red one, but it has black stripes, and it has a set of torque thrusts on it. And then there's a black one, and I think the black one, it has a white stripe, and it also has, I think, torque thrust. There's quite a few of them that are good looking cars. There's one that is an advertisement for, I think, Krager, and it has a set of Kragers on it, and it's a red SS. So there's a lot of cool ones out there. And as you can see, it doesn't have the SS hood. It just has a basic flat hood. Now, sometimes Yenko had their own hoods. They called them Stinger hoods because it was almost the same hood that the Stingray Corvette had for a big block. And then sometimes they had other hoods that were scoops. That was mostly Baldwin Motion, because Baldwin Motion, basically, they would put like pro stock engines in your car and sell them as street cars. So they had tunnel rams on them and everything. They had like all kinds of different phases, phase 2, 3, 4. I think it went up to phase 5 as far as what I can recall when I was really into Chevy, but I don't remember. It's been a long time. So here's the truck with the missing bumper. Wrong truck. So anyway, same truck, but it's got a bumper. So here we go. And this is the Yenko SC Chevy Silverado from 2020. And I don't know if these have opening hoods or not. I don't think they do. No, they don't. As far as I know, they don't. Maybe I'm recalling the Auto World ones. The Auto World ones do. But this is still a fine example of a modern Silverado. The body lines and everything, the grill, And then the front bumper. There's a lot going on up here with like the contours of the fenders and how the fenders overlap the bumper and such. But they nailed it. They got all the details there. It looks really good. Casted in mirrors are a nice touch. And these wheels look good. This is a really decent looking wheel for a Silverado. I don't know, they're a 10-spoke, I believe. And then the rear tailgate, nicely done. And it's the High Country Edition. You can see that logo back there, your Silverado logo. And then the raised lettering in the metal for Chevrolet on the tailgate. And you got your hitch back there. And backup lights. Or no, those are the exhaust tips. I'm sorry. The backup lights are in the tail lights. So anyways, let's set him down and we'll get the trailer out and take a quick look at it. And this is, well, probably the company that makes the best 164 trailers for the money is Greenlight. They knew how to model them. They put the fenders on the outside of the trailer. They didn't try to flush mount the fenders like M2 does. M2's trailers do not work. They don't allow the vehicle to go up on there unless it's a four-wheel drive because the fenders hit the sides of the car. But Greenlight nailed it, and the detail is really nicely done. They use a plastic insert for the wood grain part and the wooden floor, but the whole trailer is metal. This is just a little plastic, like laminate. Well, more than a laminate. It's a plastic, I don't know, tile, I guess I would call it, that sits down in there. And they're really nicely done. The jack size is proper. It's true 164. And they do function most of the time, but sometimes there's a little bit too much paint in there. And you can break the handles. So usually I just put them in a little bit and leave it alone. And then put them on display. Unless I want to leave the trailer dropped with a car on it, then I have to put them all the way down. So there you go, guys. There is our showcase for today in our unboxing. The Chevy Nova 2nd Gen from Greenlight. These are very, very nicely done. So, guys, I'm not sure. I'm going to come back tomorrow. I want to show you guys the first series of the premium Formula One cars from Hot Wheels. Finally hit our Walmart. I'm not going to unbox them because I got them for someone else, but we'll take a quick look at them in the packages and such, and that way you guys know what you're looking at and looking for. If you're like me, I'm not a big Formula One fan, but sometimes the cars are just cool to have in your collection. But anyways, we'll take a look at those tomorrow. So I appreciate everybody watching. Turn on your notification bell so you know when we do drop one spontaneously. And please subscribe if you have not yet. Thanks for watching, guys.